everybody, it's Collrane Tarot. I'm back with another pick a card video. Today we're going to be doing what is my first impression that I give off when people meet me, or just in general, like when I walk into a room, what is the energy that I bring and what kind of energy is in my aura right now. So we have here pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1 has this little turquoise rock on it, which I think of symbolizing as like the connection between your throat and your heart, so communicating your heart-centered truth. Pile 2 has this little tiger's eye piece, which I think of abundance and grounding, being connected to the earth. And then pile 3 has this little angel, which says faith on it. And I think of being protected and connected to source. So once you're done choosing, I'll have the timestamps in the description as usual. So let's get started on pile 1. Hello, pile 1. So we're going to get into what people's first impression is of you when they first meet you, or even people that already know you, what kind of energy you bring into the room when you are in other people's space, and how your energy is affecting the people in your life. So you probably chose because of this little turquoise stone, so I'm going to keep this off to the side so that it can enhance the reading. Okay, we're going to start with the Buddha Wisdom card. So this card says, practicing Chad, extend your awareness to the energetic edges or boundaries of the universe. So right away when I look at this card, I feel that you are somebody that intimidates people sometimes when you first walk into a space or you're in other people's energy. You push out a lot of negativity, and you may be somebody, I'm kind of getting the idea that you make people's stomach turn if they know that they're not supposed to be in your energetic field. You probably have really harsh or protective angels or spirits walking with you that kind of are no nonsense types. They don't really like for people who have bad intentions to be around you, and they get very fearful or get uncomfortable and would like to leave sometimes if you're in their space. And it's not to say that it's anything negative about you. It's more like they have negative energy that they need to confront and need to release. And so that's why they may be pushed out of your immediate surroundings when you first enter a room. Also, with this fire all around in this card, there's a lot of cleansing and purifying that happens when you are in a space, because I think of fire as being a very powerful but also very cleansing element, and something that is lively and fun and full of passion, but it also purifies the surrounding energy that is in your space. So people may be drawn to you who need some kind of healing or some kind of cleansing in their energetic aura, and it may make you end up feeling drained, but I feel like you also are somebody that's really high energy, so you may not feel a lot of the impact of that. But if people are draining you, or you are feeling like you need to distance yourself from people, those are messages that you should be paying attention to, because it's your guides trying to tell you that you need to protect your energy and keep it balanced so that you don't end up draining a certain amount of the energy that you need to help you manifest good things into your life. I'm going to pull out the second card. Compassion. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. You are somebody who is a human embodiment of compassion. You're somebody who it's really evident that you operate in a mode of compassion. A lot of the times people see you as somebody who is really influential whenever you enter the space. And I think it's interesting that at the beginning of this video, when I was introducing this stone that's on top of this pile, I was talking about the connection between the heart and the throat chakra, where you speak out of a place of heart-centered truth. And I feel like people recognize this about you when they see you. They see you as somebody who has wisdom and can speak that wisdom very clearly. And it comes from you understanding how people connect with each other and being able to see things very clearly and understand when things are maybe being clouded from other people's judgment or not being read correctly. So you also can communicate this in a very loving way, and you likely have a very melodic voice, one that people, when they hear your voice or they see your presence, they're immediately brought to peace and they feel the loving presence. They feel that you are somebody who is really emotionally skilled and understands the depths of emotion, and you're able to communicate it in a way that's very loving and peaceful and is not going to set anybody on edge. But I think that that's why you may be scaring some people, because look around this person, it's very blue and green, just as this card is, and everybody else is kind of like pushed outside of this person, and it's like any negative energies are not allowed to be around you. And I think it's interesting also that you have above, because I feel like this is very much you, above you, you have these three heads that are like these beings that are watching over you and being sure that you don't have any negative entities or beings around you because of that. So you are somebody who is very loving, who is very nurturing, and people, especially younger people, come to you for that guidance and compassion. Even if you aren't that old, you're just somebody who is viewed as an older soul or somebody who's wise, that people see really gives advice out of a place of love, and you're not going to lead people astray. The other two cards I have here, Empress, Angel of Abundance, and Ten of Wands, Burdens. So I feel like rather than this being an energy that you present to others as something that like you burden others, I don't think that you should see it as that. It's more of, you may be somebody who's a little bit tired right now or run down because you're trying to operate so much from your heart chakra that it's starting to deplete it. And I feel like it would be beneficial for this group to do some kind of energy work where you not close your heart chakra off, but protect it and put some boundaries around it. And that also comes in the form of cord cutting. I'm hearing for some of you, trying to look up videos on how you can undo energetic ties that you have with some people that may be draining your energy. And this can even be through people looking at you online and being jealous or thinking like, oh, you have so much going for you, this person has so much abundance, why don't I have that? And just kind of sending you like spiritual attacks in that way, where their negative energy is affecting you because they are trying to pull from you, or people who reach out to you with negative intentions, trying to like pull energy from you because they're bored or they just want an energy boost, and they know that you're the type of person that is going to engage because you care. And I think setting those kind of boundaries, you're not changing your identity at all by putting those boundaries up and being clear with what kind of people you want to engage with. You are really just setting those boundaries so that you can give the full amount of healing to the people that you want to, because I feel like this group really does want to come off as the Empress, somebody who can help in any situation and give advice or give guidance regardless of what is happening in your life. And you want to be somebody who's viewed as well-rounded and with a really balanced feminine energy, because the feminine energy is also capable of nurturing and bringing people peace and being like a mother. And I feel like regardless of your gender, you would like to be somebody who helps people feel comforted and safe. And you can't do that if you're overextending yourself and carrying so many other people's problems and taking so much on. So setting certain boundaries and being able to communicate with people but not take it on or take it on as something personal for yourself is going to be really beneficial for this group. And I think also doing some kind of ritual where you cleanse your physical body, like whether that be through scrubs that scrub off any negative energy that may be in your aura, or doing like air cleansing with incense or sage that will cleanse the aura around your immediate body. So I think that that's it, pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to move on to pile 2. Hello, pile 2. If you chose this little piece of tiger's eye for your reading, this is going to be what energy you immediately bring into a space when you enter, and how people perceive you, and how your energy affects other people at the moment. So I'm going to start with this Buddha Wisdom card. It says the 8 manifestations of Padmasambhava, the lotus-born one. A great teacher is a treasure, seek to find one. So Padmasambhava was an ancient Buddhist monk who devoted his life to helping others reach enlightenment and teaching others about the way to reach nirvana or enlightenment in your... Okay, so the video cut out and I'm gonna keep going. I laid down this card, which is passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So with this passion card, what I was talking about before here with this card is you have a lot of different personalities that sometimes come out, and you're like a chameleon sometimes. So you can come off to people as being different in different social situations. And I feel like you have a lot of social situations around you with these different manifestations of Padmasambhava, who is the lotus-born one, somebody who is really peaceful and helps people understand different aspects of themselves and be able to integrate all these different personalities that seem to come out in different situations. And with this passion card talking about hidden gems of insight that are underneath everything, there are little ripples that are shown in the back, and I'm thinking about the advice that you give and the insights that you give to people when a crisis hits. You may be somebody's like first choice of somebody to reach out to and talk to. And with these ripples, it's like the things that you say in the immediacy of an event, somebody may think of them and be brought back to the things that you say and the advice that you give for days or weeks after the initial event occurs. So also, you're somebody who is really grounding, and you activate people's root chakra a lot because you're helping bring them back down to earth with the balancing and harmonious energy that you carry with yourself, regardless of the situation that you're in. You also may be somebody that has a very pleasing physical body, and that doesn't have to be like in a sexual way or anything, but like people really enjoy looking at you because you are a magnetic person. You carry yourself with confidence. And with specifically this group, I feel like it has a lot of fire energy, or fire placements in their chart that make them come off as somebody who is high energy and carefree and happy and brings a lot of joy and positivity into a situation. So I have 3 angel cards. There's 7 of Cups, 3 of Cups, and Queen of Swords. And I feel like Queen of Swords in this instance is definitely an immediate energy that you give off to people. It's somebody who kind of goes against convention and doesn't really care what a larger group of people or society at large would typically think. And you may have a lot of Aquarius in your chart with this specific card, because I feel like you are really comfortable in your identity and you're not afraid to just be who you are and present yourself in any way that makes you feel happy, regardless of who's around and who's watching. With this 3 of Cups too, this also goes into what I was talking about before with the joy, because I feel like you're somebody that just brings a lot of joy in any situation that you're around, and you're seldom found alone. I feel like this group especially is always surrounded by friends or a close group of people, and it's because you're somebody who is kind of like the glue of a lot of situations where people find you to be a really calming presence and a very insightful person to have regardless of the situation, and they feel comforted by having you around. With this 7 of Cups, I feel like some of you may have a lot of different obligations or situations that you are pulled into, and sometimes you may end up spreading yourself thin, so people may see you as being really busy or having a lot of different commitments, and so it may be hard for people to see you as a very constant or always available person. They see you as somebody who is in high demand, where a lot of different people really value your unique, and I'm getting like you have a variety of skills that can be applied in multiple different areas of life, and so that's why it may come off as you being pretty busy or having a lot going on. So yeah, this is really cool, and I think you're somebody who has a lot of wisdom to offer, and people really appreciate that about you, Pile 2. So that's all I'm getting. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope that it resonated. All of the information that you may need will be in my description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in next week's video. Thank you, Pile 2. I'm going to move on to Pile 3. Okay, last but not least, we have Pile 3. If you chose this little angel that says faith on it, then this is going to be your first impression reading, what people immediately pick up on when you enter a room, what kind of energy you bring into a space or situation. So I'm going to start. I have 2 Buddha Wisdom cards that came out for this pile. We have the Brilliant Mind of, I'm not even going to try and say that because I'm going to mess it up. The Goddess of Long Life. The path of the intellect can yield a long life. And White Tara offers liberation. By your quiet listening, you can liberate others from fear. I feel like this pile is somebody who is kind of shy when you first go in, and you're a little bit of an enigma. People don't really know how to read you properly when they first meet you, or even if they've known you for a long time. Sometimes people don't really know if they're understanding what you're going through because I feel like you don't show a lot of your emotions on your face or express them all that clearly, even through words. Sometimes your communication may be blocked, and that may be something that you could stand to work on a little bit more, but you may enjoy being a little bit of a mystery to others because it does protect you from people being able to send you negativity. And I feel like this group does have a skill at placing boundaries socially. You're definitely more of an introvert, somebody who has introverted tendencies where you can go in to yourself and check in with yourself, and you really know how to advocate for yourself when you're feeling a certain emotion. You have a certain amount of emotional intelligence that is really admirable because you can check in with yourself and know how to understand your own emotions and tend to those emotions when you feel them. I feel like with this Goddess of Long Life card coming out, you may be somebody that people either view as not necessarily being an older person, but you could be an older person, but like you're somebody that people see as having lived through a lot or had a lot of experience, and you've grown a lot because of that experience, and they recognize that when you say something, because I feel like this group doesn't talk all that often, but when you do say something, it is really important because, and like people are really going to listen. I feel like often you are the listener, but when people are listening to you, it's because you have something really important to say, and you know when to speak up and when your voice is going to add to a situation. You also, with this repetition of the red color, this deep red color, I feel like you are somebody who people know that when you commit to something, it is because you are really dedicated and you know that your contribution is going to be really helpful, and you're very passionate about being dedicated to something that you're working on, and you like to bring others a sense of grounding and understanding that what they're doing is important and helpful, and you're goal oriented. You have a focus on where your energy is directed towards and where you're heading. You also have a lot of confidence in yourself that doesn't rely on the input of other people. I feel like this group is very self-focused, not in a negative way, but in a way that's like loving of yourself and seeking to improve yourself in a positive manner. You also are somebody that when you offer your loving kindness to people, they really appreciate it because they know that it's very genuine, and it is something that is really healing to the people that you're really close to. And it's sweet. Like, you don't even have to try too hard. You can just go into a space and just sit with somebody and just listen to them talk and give minimal feedback, but just you being there, the energy that you emit really helps people feel calm and at ease and be able to think rationally about things. That doesn't get them too excited or too riled up. It brings people to a sense of peace and being able to process things through their heart center, running their thoughts through their emotions and being able to integrate them and balance them really well, and know that it's not the end of the world when something negative happens or something goes on that is not really in their favor. So yeah, we have here the delight card. It says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. And I feel like this is really important, especially for this group, to spend more time with yourself, building up your energy. If you ever feel depleted, especially when you're in large group settings or just in settings where you're in contact with other people's energy for long or extended periods of time, taking that time to go within yourself and finding things that you love about yourself and just checking in with your own emotions is really important for this group, because that's how you can be more effective in your self-expression and your understanding of others' emotions. I feel like your intuition may get clouded if you spend too much time tapping into other people's energy, which is why it's really important to spend a lot of time with yourself. Focus on nourishing your own joy and doing things that bring yourself a lot of joy, because you have the power to influence others to understand the way that they find their own joy, and you can make people feel happier just by being happy yourself. We have here King of Cups and Ace of Swords, Victory. So King of Cups, I feel like it's more how people that already really know you understand you to be. They see you as somebody that's really loyal, somebody, like I was mentioning before, dedicated to, that could even be your work. You're not going to invest too much into environments or situations that you're not really emotionally invested in and passionate about. And you're going to work at something until it is really perfect. You could be somebody that's kind of a perfectionist, but you are really focused on making sure that whatever situation that you are influencing is done correctly and done well as well. That's why you may not have all that many close friendships, but the ones that you do have, you are really influential and you are really an effective and good friend to the people that you do choose to invest time in and the projects that you do choose to put your energy towards. With this Ace of Swords, this is, I think you help people with their thought process and helping people think about things in a new or creative way, perhaps looking at a situation in a way that they hadn't before and seeing things as being less limiting or frustrating as they may have previously expected them to be or thought of them as. I feel like you also are somebody that offers spiritual help to people, whether you're trying to be somebody who's speaking about something in a spiritual way or not. You do end up help people with their spiritual guidance and sometimes even channel messages that their spirit guides are trying to communicate to them through the way that you're talking, because you don't talk all that often. So when you do speak about something, people pay attention and their ears perk up and they listen to you, because people know that you are trying to be helpful and your emotions are balanced. You're not going to speak out of a place where you're being kind of like emotionally chaotic or trying to lead them astray emotionally, because you're somebody who people recognize is very balanced within themselves and knows your own emotions really well. I think that that's it, pile 3. That's all I'm getting. Thank you for watching this video. Everything that you may need is in the description box below. And I'll see you in next week's video.